Belmarsh Prison, located in Crimes London, is one of the UK's most high-security facilities, often referred to as Britain's Guantanamo Bay, because of its strict measures and the type of inmates it houses. Over the years, Belmarsh has been home to some of the most notorious criminals and terrorists, whose have ranged from murder and terrorism to organized crime and violent offenses. Let's take a look at 10 most dangerous prisoners ever held at Belmarsh Prison. 10. Ian Huntley. Ian Huntley was a man who did something very bad. He was responsible for the deaths of two young girls, Holly Wells and Jessica Chapman, who were both 10 years old. This sad event happened in 2002 in a place called Soham, England. Ian Huntley was working at a school when he met Holly and Jessica. After the terrible event, he tried to hide what he had done, but the police found out the truth. Because of his actions, Ian Huntley was taken to court, where he had to answer for what he had done. The court decided that he was guilty, which means they were sure he did the bad things. As a result, he was sent to a very secure prison called Belmarsh Prison to ensure he could not hurt anyone else. This case was very big news in the UK and made many people very sad and careful about safety. 9. Michael Adebolajo and Michael Adebowale. Michael Adebolajo and Michael Adebowale are two men who committed a very serious crime in London. In 2013, they attacked a British soldier named Lee Rigby right outside his army barracks in a place called Woolwich. They hurt him very badly and he died, which was a shocking and sad event for many people. Both men were caught by the police right after they did this, and there were many people who saw what happened. This made it easier for the police to understand and prove that they were responsible. When they went to court, judges listened to all the evidence and decided that Michael Adebolajo and Michael Adebowale were guilty of murder, which means they were responsible for Lee Rigby's death. Because what they did was so serious, they were sent to Belmarsh Prison, which is a place where people who have done very bad things are kept. This case was talked about a lot because it was so unusual and scary. 8. Thomas Mair. Thomas Mair is a man who committed a very serious crime in the United Kingdom. He was found guilty of hurting and killing Jo Cox, who was a member of the British Parliament. Jo Cox was a woman who worked to help people and make laws. This happened in 2016 when she was about to meet with people from her area to listen to their problems and try to help them. Thomas Mair attacked Jo Cox because he did not agree with her ideas and the work she was doing. This made many people very sad and scared because Jo Cox was loved by many for her kindness and hard work. The court looked at all the evidence and decided that Thomas Mair had done this terrible thing. They said he must go to prison for his whole life so he cannot hurt anyone else. He was sent to Belmarsh Prison, which is a place for people who have done very bad things. This case reminded everyone how important it is to treat others kindly and respect different ideas. 7. Diran Barot. Diran Barot is a man who planned to do very bad things in London a long time ago, around the early 2000s. He wanted to set off bombs in different places where lots of people go, like shopping areas and hotels. This could have hurt many people and caused a lot of damage. He was doing this because he was involved with a group called Al-Qaeda, which is known for doing harmful things all over the world. The police found out about his plans before he could do anything, and they arrested him. This was good because it kept many people safe. When Diran Barot went to court, the judges heard about his plans and decided he was guilty, which means they were sure he was planning these dangerous actions. Because of the very serious nature of his plans, he was sent to Belmarsh Prison. It's a place where people who have done very dangerous things are kept so they can't harm others. Diran Barot's case shows why it's important to stop harmful plans before they happen. 6. Abu Hamza al-Masri. Abu Hamza al-Masri is a man who used to talk about very harmful ideas. He was a preacher, which means he would speak to groups of people, but instead of spreading messages of peace and kindness, he encouraged anger and violence. He was involved in supporting bad actions and was connected to a group known for doing dangerous things around the world. Because of the things he said and the ideas he supported, the police in the United Kingdom arrested him. They thought his actions could lead to people getting hurt, so it was important to stop him. After being in jail in the UK for a while, he was sent to the United States. In the US, he went to court, and they found him guilty of supporting these dangerous ideas and actions. Abu Hamza was then put in prison to make sure he couldn't talk to more people about these harmful ideas. His case shows how serious it is when someone uses their words to encourage harm. 5. Charles Bronson. Charles Bronson, who now calls himself Charles Salvador, is known as one of the toughest and most troublesome prisoners in the United Kingdom. He has spent a very long time in prison because he often gets into trouble, even while being in jail. Most of the time, his trouble involves fighting with prison staff or other prisoners. Charles first went to jail for a robbery, which is when someone takes things that do not belong to them by force. But even after he was put in jail, he kept breaking the rules and acting in violent ways. This made his time in jail much longer. Because of his behavior, Charles has been moved to different prisons, including Belmarsh, which is a very secure place where they keep people who have done very serious things. People talk about Charles a lot because he has been in jail for so long and because he often causes problems. His life in prison teaches us how important it is to follow rules and how making bad choices can affect a person's life for a very long time. 4. Salahuddin Amin. Salahuddin Amin is a man who was involved in a very serious and dangerous plan in the United Kingdom. He was part of a group that wanted to use bombs to cause harm and scare people. They planned to use a type of fertilizer that can explode, and they wanted to place these bombs in different places where lots of people go, like shopping centers. The police found out about this plan before anything bad could happen, thanks to their investigations. Salahuddin Amin and others in his group were arrested, and this stopped them from hurting anyone. When Salahuddin went to court, the judges listened to all the evidence and decided that he was guilty of planning these bad actions. Because of what he planned to do, he was sent to Belmarsh Prison, a very secure place for people who have done dangerous things. Salahuddin's case is an example of how important it is for the police to catch people before they can carry out harmful plans. 3. Harun Aswat. Harun Aswat is a man who got into big trouble because he was helping with some very dangerous plans. He worked with Abu Hamza al-Masri, who was a preacher that talked about hurting other people. Together, they tried to set up a special camp in the United States where they wanted to teach people how to be fighters and cause harm. The police found out about their plan to make this training camp, and they arrested Harun Aswat. This was important because stopping the camp meant keeping many people safe from getting hurt. After he was caught, Harun was sent from the United Kingdom to the United States because the camp he was helping to set up was going to be in America. In the United States, he went to court, and the judges decided he was guilty of trying to help set up the camp. Because of his actions, Harun was put in prison to make sure he couldn't help with any more harmful plans. 2. Andrew Waniki. Andrew Waniki is a man who became very famous for being part of a gang and doing lots of bad things. He was involved in activities like selling illegal drugs, which is against the law, and participating in robberies, where people take things that don't belong to them by using force or threats. Andrew also got into a lot of fights and used violence, which hurt many people. Because of his actions, he was caught by the police. The police work hard to make sure that people who break the law are stopped so they can't hurt anyone else. When Andrew went to court, the judges heard about all the things he had done and decided that he needed to go to prison to keep him from doing more bad things. He was sent to Belmarsh Prison, which is a place for people who have committed very serious crimes. It's known for being very secure to make sure that the people there cannot escape and cause more trouble. 1. Omar Khayyam. Omar Khayyam is a man who was the leader of a group that planned to do something very dangerous. He and his friends wanted to set off bombs in different places where lots of people gather, like shopping centers and nightclubs. They thought this would scare people and get attention for their ideas, but it's a very harmful way to behave. They were going to use a special kind of fertilizer that can explode to make these bombs. Luckily, the police found out about their plan before anyone got hurt. They were able to stop Omar Khayyam and his group, which saved many lives. Omar was taken to court, and the judges listened to all the evidence about what he and his group were planning to do. They decided that Omar was guilty of planning these dangerous actions. As a result, he was sent to Belmarsh Prison, a place that keeps very serious criminals to make sure they can't harm anyone. His case shows how important it is to stop dangerous plans before they happen. So this was all about today's video. Do let us know your thoughts and comments. Please subscribe to The Luxury World. Thank you for watching.